The camera has a mind of its own.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Cheers. Well, hi. I'm Max.
And I'm Amy.
And this is Creative Living.
It is.
Yes.
Today we're going to talk about taking care of ourselves, like self-care as artists, how we basically just look after ourselves as creatives, particularly creatives who work for ourselves.
Yeah.
So Max, do you want to tell us about what's been happening for you this week and a bit?
So this week I've been feeling really run down and I have gotten sick recently, and it's like I don't really get sick that often. I used to get sick a lot. I don't get sick very often anymore. And when I get sick, I know that it's not like I've just caught a bug. Yeah. Like it's an emotional stress. And I've been working on that and discovered it's probably got a lot to do with the fact that I'm working on being myself and being okay to make money being myself and being okay to be a creative and like that it's all okay.
Yeah. And you feel like your body's been like reacting against the emotional work you've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've really stepped up now, and I've been writing affirmations, and I've been focusing on looking after myself and like treating myself well.
So ironic.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think my body's just reacting to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that is so often the case, and like really similarly actually, the last few weeks I really felt have been weeks of transition where I've been putting myself out there, I've been creating plans for myself, I've been writing, I've been doing a lot of creative work, and it's felt like transition, like I'm stepping up, and my body's been like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, you think you can just step up without me putting up a fight? And I've been really unwell, really tired, not with such little energy, and my body has just been like, I need you to slow down.
Yeah. Transition's funny because I think that's probably what it is when you take that next step.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's not when
you're with it.
Yeah, and it's not when you're at that same level where you're on that same, I don't know, emotional level or thought pattern. It's when you take that next step to go, okay, well actually no, like I'm expecting more of myself now. I'm expecting like let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, and your body can protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we want to do this video today because we've learnt, being in the creative world, how important it is to take care of yourself. Yeah. And, you know, you hear it all the time with all these Instagram accounts, and they're all like bubble baths, like you were saying before, and like going to the spa and the retreat and like self-love. Yeah. But it actually is so much more about listening to yourself and going, like this is clearly a pattern that I'm running. And now I need to address it, and I need to look after myself and not judge.
That's the biggest one. I think my biggest form of self-care is recognizing when I'm judging myself, or recognizing when my inner voice is being really critical, and then stepping back. And like that is not easy, and I still don't think I really know how to do it. But what I have gotten better at is recognizing when I'm starting to be mean to myself, or recognizing when I'm judging myself.
Yeah.
A big one for me is I'm feeling so tired, and the inner voice just goes, why?
Yeah. You don't deserve to be tired.
Yeah.
You haven't produced this and this
you
and
think
this.
You can be tired after you've done what today?
Yeah. Like, what?
And then I don't honor my tiredness, and then shocker, I get more tired.
Yeah.
Same with illness, like physical illness. My mind is like, you think you can be ill? Like, why would you be ill?
Yeah, you don't have time to be ill.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be
ill.
You
don't deserve to be ill.
You don't deserve to have a sick day.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
It's shocking. And it's about catching that voice and seeing how irrational it is. Like, you would never tell your friend who's like, I've got a cold. And you're like, well, do you fucking deserve to have a cold?
Yes.
Like, why
you say that to yourself?
To yeah. I literally say that to myself.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
So true.
And I think for me, the easiest way for me to identify that inner voice has been to journal every single morning. Because then I let myself just go. Like, I write 1 or 2 pages just straight. I don't think about it. And I start seeing thoughts in there that I can then reread in a more calm mental state and see, wow, that's fucking crazy.
Mm.
That's a crazy expectation that I'm putting on myself.
Yeah.
And it's not serving me in any way.
No.
Yeah.
And even the oracle cards.
Yeah.
So when you posted that on Inspired to Write, I was, it made me smile because I'd done it that day as well, or the day before. And that's also a really good little strategy. I've got like these angel cards, and you pick, I think you meant to pick 3 or something. I picked 4 that day because one fell out and I thought, okay.
Oh, it's a sign.
It's a sign. But those are also really good.
Yeah.
Because they're not always the cards that you want.
No.
But they usually resonate in some way.
Yeah.
You can go, okay, like I need to
definitely
focus on this or focus on that. And I mean, everyone has their strategy, but I find that's a really good one. If you're so in your head and you're going, oh my gosh, like I don't know what I need to focus on and I don't know what I need. And one of them for me was retreat. And I thought, okay.
Retreat. You know,
rest.
We need so much more rest than we think we do. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And even the gym, for example. So I've always, my gym past experience has always been like full on and then nothing, and then full on and then injury and nothing, and then full on. And recently I've started doing I'm doing this program at the moment, and it's light exercise, and it's focusing on like your legs and your stomach and specific areas, but I can do it and enjoy it, and I can go and I do it 3 times a week. And
just do it.
Yeah, you do it, and you know that you're doing it for you. Like you go and you sit down and like you're physically on the bike, or you're physically walking with the conscious, like that conscious voice going, I deserve this. I'm looking after myself. Like this is for my body. This is for my health.
Exercise is a funny one, because for me, it can be a trigger or it can help me. So I can beat myself up about exercise, or it can serve me and deeply heal me. And I have to navigate when it's going to serve me or not. So like if I've sat at home all day and I've been writing for hours and I've got nothing done and I'm furious and all I want to do is watch TV and I'm in my body and I'm just angry, to serve myself would be to go and move my body at the gym. And I have to acknowledge that that's going to be the best form of self-care than not going and sitting down and watching TV, because that's what my body needs. But also sometimes I can really beat myself up about it, and it becomes the complete opposite of self-love. I'm berating myself, and have had my, my 3rd day off in a row or something, and I'm like, oh, well, it's a slippery slope, and I might be exhausted and I might need rest, and the voice inside my head's like, you are lazy. It's a battle trying to figure out how to serve yourself and how to rejuvenate yourself all the time.
It is. It's a battle. And even just eating well. Like you have those days, especially when you're tired. I mean, I find when I'm tired, then I get really lazy about what I eat. And then what I eat makes me feel worse. I get a lot of anxiety when I have too much sugar and too many bad, I tend to have a reasonably good diet, but I actually notice that I get emotional reactions to some of the food that I eat, and you don't know that at first until maybe you start cutting things out, like when you cut sugar out for a while and you feel better. But like even being aware that what you're feeling might not actually be real, like it could be provoked by something that you're eating.
Same with anxious thoughts or depressive thoughts. They're not part of you. They're being triggered. And it's not just recognizing where everything's coming from, and not taking all of these thoughts on. It's interesting.
And this week, because I felt just, I don't know, tired, and then now I'm sick and it makes me more tired, and it makes me feel things that I probably wouldn't necessarily feel if I was well. But I've been listening to some podcasts and things like that as well, and just having people that I admire, or topics that are about looking after yourself or about empowerment, and it really does help just having, even if your voice is not saying all the right things, putting another voice in your head for 40 or so minutes really does.
That's such a good way of looking at it.
It really does help, and I did that this morning, and it gives your
mind a break. It's nice when, as creatives, you're constantly outputting. I feel like I've put out so much stuff this week. Like I've just been creating. So cool. But then to consume, to read, to listen to podcasts, to watch a movie, and fill up the tank from you know, from things external to internal rather than constantly creating is so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you listen to my podcast?
I haven't yet.
I've just finished many mediums.
I've just finished Sorelle Amore. She's on Instagram. I think I showed
I need
you.
to get on it?
It's good. It's just been 2, but she's got she's a YouTuber, so she's like taken some of her YouTube videos and turned them into podcasts
cool.
as well. But she's also very much talking about like what you put out in the universe and what you can get back, and like I really resonate with some of her messages because I think that's sort of the career I sort of want to find myself going down. But yeah, you'd like her.
Put it on my
She's
list.
good. She's good.
Affirmations is an
even like the
one.
book.
I know. I have a big list.
Yeah.
I have a very big list. Affirmations. You're just talking about that. So really, I find that I'm getting really into affirmations, into mantras, just literally forcing positivity into my mind when I have what maybe not acknowledged, but I do have a bajillion million negative mantras that go around my head all the time. You're not enough. Your creativity doesn't deserve money. How could you charge for that? All these are mantras that I have that I say to myself every day. And so why wouldn't I want to change that and sometimes affirmations seem so silly, but like they're so important to combat the affirmations we already have that are negative.
Yeah, that's true. And also, so the book that I've been reading, it's called The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn. So she's very much about affirmations and what you put out. But what she says is that an affirmation isn't going to do anything unless you follow it up with active faith. So you put out your affirmation, you repeat it. It becomes, you know, a spell that you're almost casting.
Yeah, I love
like
that.
in the repetition of it to create what you want. But that you also act as if you've already got what you're trying to bring in.
You're already there.
Yeah, so it could be if you're wanting to attract the right guy, then going out there and I just bought flowers for myself on Valentine's Day. Like it's the act of faith of going like, this is what I want to bring into my life, so I'm going to bring it into my life in some small way.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and I think that that's really underestimated.
Totally underestimated. What are your favorite affirmations at the moment?
So I've made up my own.
Okay.
But I won't say them. Yeah, I won't say them. They're quite personal, but they should be personal. There should be something that is close to the heart, that feels right, that you can say it and you can feel it. If you write a bunch of words on a piece of paper and you don't feel the words, then maybe you need to change them to make you excited or feel something
within you.
Yeah, and then to follow it up with, maybe you want to write it in a way that it rhymes. So then you can say it in a way that
and it sticks with you.
Yeah, it sticks with you, and you can almost sing it in your head or something.
Yeah.
But whatever works for you. But yeah, I think it's a fascinating... I mean, for example, I think a lot of the time we manifest things that we don't want in our lives because we're afraid. So what I think a lot of people do... and this is around the topic of money, is you're afraid that you're going to lose money. So the money that you have in your account, you hold, and you don't go and buy that candle that you really want, or you don't go and get your nails done or your hair done, and you hold on to that money because for fear of losing it, or for fear of having something come into your life that takes that money away, like a fine. But often when you are actively not spending money on the things that you feel you need, you're telling the universe that you need to keep hold of that money, and then for some reason you'll always find that you'll have like a speeding fine that comes in, and you go, oh well, there you go, like I needed the money for that. But in that process you were actively
you weren't giving out, you were
afraid, so you were thinking about it. You were thinking about, oh, like I'm afraid of this, and then you were making actions to say that you needed to save your money for whatever that was. So it's funny how it can actually it can happen in the
negative way.
In the negative way.
Yeah. I mean, I've been working particularly with money at the moment in affirmations because so many of us have such negative relationships with money. And like, I love saying things now like, I love money. Like, you know how awkward that, like, awkward that was to say initially.
Yeah, it's so uncomfortable.
To be like, I love money, but I do love money. I love money, and I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that as artists, as creatives.
Such a taboo thing to say as a creative.
Yeah, like we want money. Like I want money.
I want money.
I want money to be able to spend on the things that I want to spend on. Like money is something that should love us, and we love it.
I love the concept.
I know, it's so good. And that is self-care as well, going, I deserve this. I deserve all the good things, all the comforts. I deserve to be able to have money to travel and explore and learn and create.
Yeah. How hard is it to say, like, I deserve money to do what I love?
Yeah.
Like, but it's so powerful and it's so true.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. It makes me feel good just saying
it feels like releasing, like I'm unclogging
love
something in my body.
It's almost delicious, like a chocolate. Love it.
I was going to say something. Oh, I was going to talk about how I would love money for my work, and that's kind of a form of self-care, like knowing that my work deserves money.
Yeah, that you have the money to do not just a little bit, but things, everything that you want to do. And you're at the moment putting into action some pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah,
so I feel like
good. I've been working on workshops and mentorships and been putting out a lot into the world, and I'm excited. I do need to recharge. I can feel myself. I'm so tired after a week of giving out. But really exciting stuff, but I just need I need this tea very much.
Need the tea. What is this tea?
It's Brisbane breakfast.
Oh, it's Brisbane breakfast again.
Until the pot runs out.
Had a bath the other night.
Did you?
Yep. So as much as we were saying it's not all about baths, I did have a bath the other night and put candles on. I put Epsom salts in the bath, rose petals. Like it was a really beautiful bath. But I have a real issue with baths because when I get in a bath, I get bored really quickly and I can't switch off. And every time I go, I need to have a bath. I would love to have a bath. And then I get in and I will sit there for 10 minutes and then go, okay, like I've had enough, or maybe the bath water's too hot or it's too cold, or
and you're just fidgety and
you can't get comfortable. And it's funny because I sat through it and I went, okay, like no, like this is what I need. Epsom salts also changes your pH, so it's also a health thing to be just sitting in that when you're sick. But I sat there for a bit and I thought, okay, well, what's going to take my mind off like what's just going to blank my mind out? I mean, obviously you can never truly blank out your mind, but what's going to just slow me down, so my thought process down. And I started rubbing my temples because I remember you talking about how you were releasing your jaw.
My jaw gets so taut.
And so I started rubbing my temples, I started rubbing my jaw, and I started breathing. Like I had all these deep breaths come in, and I did a little bit more of that, and all of a sudden, I swear, I just like...
zoned out? Well done.
Zoned out. But I probably was about half an hour later before I let go of all that.
It's so interesting you say that. I've been really like having exactly the same feelings. I haven't been taking baths, but I've been trying to stretch in the evenings just to calm myself down before bed after a week of so much creating. And every time I sit down, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And I get out my phone and I want to scroll, and I feel this compulsion to go online. And that compulsion to come online is I'm realizing it's like this really clear message to me, and it says there's something I'm not addressing. And it took me like 5 minutes of sitting still and having that horrible feeling of like, I just want to be out of my skin. I don't even want to exist in myself. And I didn't know why. Like the feelings weren't obvious. Just how I felt. And I sat and I worked through it, and finally I calmed down, and then I just started crying. You know, there's obviously shit there.
Release.
Yeah. I just needed to just sit there, and I just suddenly felt overwhelmed with fear, actually. I think I was really trying to cover up from fear that all these things I've been doing aren't going to work, or that, you know, imposter syndrome, you know, classic shit. It was fear that had just sat inside me, and my body was trying to hide it by not sitting still, by wanting to go online. And I needed to cry. I needed to get it out.
Yeah, oh my God, the judgment around crying, and...
I cry like every day.
Oh my God, I'm so emotional. But it's fine. Like, I feel better every time.
Yeah. I literally probably cry every day.
Yeah, same. I cry a lot. But it feels good. And it's a way to just process things quickly. You just feel it and you just let it go.
Yeah, it literally...
It helps you identify where you need to work on as well. If you don't cry, you don't know what your trigger points are, what you need.
It's a big part of my self-care.
Yeah. I just feel it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll just be like a rush.
Yeah.
Like it'll just be like maybe one tear and then you're like, oh.
That was what it was like that time when I was trying to sit still. Just let the tears come, and then I was like, okay, I can just go to bed now. I'm fine. I just needed to feel what was in there, and if it stayed unacknowledged, then I don't know how much that can build up. You know?
Yeah. Like just acknowledging that little inner child.
I've got it's about like that's exactly what I saw. I saw my inner child, like the 8-year-old version of myself, just being like, I'm so scared, and all I needed to do was be like, I see you, I see your fear, I totally understand why you're scared, like I just acknowledge you. Like that's all I needed to do, you know, just be like, I get it. Yeah, you don't need to be tough, you don't need to, you know, eat a brick and toughen the fuck up, like no just to go, an acknowledgement. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine, like we're gonna be okay. Yeah. I have a really clear relationship with me and my inner child. Like I see her. Yeah, same. And I talk to her. I don't talk. Well, sometimes I do actually. Probably not as much as you. But like I have those like feelings. My creator. Yeah. She's my imaginative force, and she freaks out because she's little. Yeah, little. She's a baby. She's a baby. She's a baby. She's a baby. I guess what we're getting at with this video is that self-care comes in many forms, but it can just be sitting there with yourself until you calm down. Definitely. Like it's not so much about the candles and the Epsom salts in the bath, but it's just sitting with yourself until it all goes quiet. Yeah, and just listening to what's going on. Checking in with yourself. Yeah, so important. Otherwise, how are you ever going to know how to look after yourself if you don't even know what's going on? Yeah. Are we done? I think we are. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Now we're going to go and do some more self-care. Yeah. I'm going to go to bed. Fuck. I'm tired. Yeah.